just gave an elbow to my mic stand here. That's not a good way to start.
Oh,
It's probably a bad sign for things to come. So, what's going on, Debbie?
how's it go? Debbie, what? What? No one calls me Debbie. You know what?
Yeah, we've done this a million times.
If someone says Debbie, that's exactly how I react every time. I just that exact reaction. It just throws me off completely.
I know. You know what's funny is when last time I called you Debbie was when we did our Halloween episode, and we were in person. If you guys haven't listened to that episode, we were actually in person, and so I got the reaction immediately. The weird thing about Zoom is I said that and I'm like, oh, maybe I slid this one past her. Nope, you caught it. Just a little bit of that delay, and yeah,
Delay.
I just throw it in there every once in a while. You know.
Yeah. See if I'm paying attention.
Yes. See if you're still awake, as we've discussed before. It's touch and go, especially at this time of night. So,
You're right. Yes.
what are you drinking tonight?
I mean, I have a Truly still, but
Okay.
it's like a margarita Truly, but I'm only having one because I'm a little under the weather and I'm going to fall asleep if I have another one. So I just only one.
All
Only
right. Well,
one.
thank you for your sacrifice.
And then I have water too. Oh, you're welcome. Sacrifice gladly.
I just brought water today.
There you go. Just water. Well, that's what we were talking about before we started recording, is that I feel like for the first time since COVID, I'm finally getting my regular, like, I don't know, a cold or whatever, or
Sure.
whatever you want to call it, flu. I don't know, just, a non-COVID sickness, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
or like, I don't know, major allergies. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
and I'm around all these lovely children who have no sense of personal space. Like
They're gross. They're
they
gross.
could be literally 2 inches away from my face when they're talking to me, and I'll back up and they'll get closer to me. And I'm like, dude, I backed up for a reason. Stay over there. Stay over there. And so here we go. So I can't even yell at work right now. It's cool. But
Okay. So I have two thoughts. One, I was going to ask this earlier, and then we kind of just kept going. What's your favorite Truly? Favorite flavor?
you know what's funny is I have gotten accustomed to the Kirkland brand. So the Costco seltzers. I call them Trulies. They're Kirkland. And I mean, they're all seltzers, but I like those flavors the best because they're much like lighter for some reason. I don't know. I like those.
Okay.
Like the Trulies lately are too like sugary, like sweet.
Sure.
Oh, the Kirkland ones are way lighter. I actually like, in order of favorites, it goes Kirkland, then White Claw, and then Truly right now. Sorry, Truly. And then this is a Truly like margarita mix, and like it's good. I just, like I said, I can't. That's it. That's all I'm gonna have while we're recording. But
All right. Well, I don't know why you had to say all of that. We've for the last few weeks you've promoted Truly specifically, and I feel like we were on our way to a nice potential sponsorship, and then you put them at the bottom of your ranking. Why didn't you lie?
they
Cut the
want
whole thing, re-rank them. Truly
to.
one, and then everything else below.
Right. I will be happy to receive some more free samples from Truly if they want me to reconsider my test taste. So
Oh, okay. All right. I think you forgot how big or small we are on this podcast, but that's all right. Just Dev's out here making demands. I like it.
I'll hear this.
Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to ask that before I forgot. But let me ask you this: as far as you were talking about, the sickness stuff, I'm a little bit under the weather as well. The whole family, a little bit under the weather. What can you do? It's that time of the year, and especially with kids, and I'm sure you're the same way with students. Even though you can probably, in some ways, try your best to prevent it a little bit more than I can. Once one of our kids is sick, it's like, well, buckle up, we're gonna get sick too. And it's not now it's like it's not even that big of a deal. You know what I mean? And I've said this before, and I have a really hope nobody I work with listens to this. I have a poor attitude when it comes to like certain sicknesses, colds being one of them. And I don't know how you feel about this. And I don't know if you can say out loud, but like me personally, I don't feel like a cold is truly being sick. Do you
It's
feel that way?
no, well, like, so I feel like if you have like a fever, like
Yeah.
a high temperature, Like,
Yes.
stay your ass home. Like, you need to like
Right. That's different.
rest because your
Right.
body's freaking out right now.
Sure.
Yeah. But like some congestion and stuff, like obviously I'm not gonna go breathe on everyone and like be within an inch of them and like I'll try to stay away, but like I'm still gonna go do things. I'm still gonna go to work. And yeah, I don't know. I don't
That's the
consider,
big one. Like the work thing. I
you
go to
know,
work like when I'm like, every place I've worked, there's always one point they're like, "Are you sick?" I don't know. I always blame the allergies too. I'm like, I think it's allergies. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's
you know what?
allergies.
No, sometimes I don't know if it is allergies or not because I'm sneezing a lot. And then like sometimes I'm like, is it maybe it is allergies? I don't
But
know.
see, in our
I say
case,
that too.
it's better not to know, right? Like we don't actually need to like check to see, like, oh, I'm sure it's actually it is a cold. I'm like, yeah, it might be allergies. Like the symptoms are the same.
Yeah.
My allergies are horrible. And so a lot of times it does feel like a cold. So I'm sneezing like crazy and all of that. So, but that's just me. And that's not meant to be like, hey, look how tough I am. It's just like, I just don't consider like a common cold. I don't consider that being sick. Now, there's levels to that, right? Like if you're like, I know like when we had our kids and they were little, you take more precautions because they're babies, and that just has different implications, right? Like that's a whole nother thing. But like around grown people, it's like it's fine. I don't get offended if people are coming to the office with a little cold and stuff like that. But I agree, a fever is different. Like I've always associated a fever with you're starting to move into that flu territory,
Yeah.
and that's a different beast for me. At least that's what I think. But any germaphobes out there, I apologize. You're probably not thrilled with hearing what I just said, but it's true. I just don't consider it the same. And you and I have talked about this before. Like if you have a cold,
Mhm.
do you stop exercising?
No, I went to boxing
Right.
today.
You make it a point to do it, right?
I know that I know that I will actually feel better. Again, a fever is different. But like I'm not
Sure.
going for. But yeah, if I don't exercise, I feel like when I'm sick, and I don't know if it's just a me thing, but I feel like I'm like, oh my God, I'm not healthy enough. Not that I need to like go out and run 10 miles right away, but like I'm like, but for me, and this is true as of late, but my cold has been followed by almost a week of not working out, followed by days on end of just having alcoholic beverages and not eating great. And and I had and like that was fun. I had a great time. I've had a great couple of days. My weekend was so fun. But now I'm like, oh, all right, time to eat better. Time to not drink like 10 beers in one night. Let's not do that for a little bit. And let's start exercising again. And that's what pops into my head. So I honestly didn't want to go to boxing today, but I'm like, just go. Just go. I was totally fine.
Yeah.
Ironically, like I felt better when I was exercising. And then when I was done and I got in my car and I started coughing, I'm like, really? After after I'm like, my heart rate's up and I'm like breathing heavy. I'm not coughing then. But when I get in my car, then I start coughing and my voice goes out. But anyway, but I felt really good working out. So for me, when I get sick, I feel like I'm like I could be healthier, I guess.
Sure.
Just to me, that's just, but you feel yucky even when you have a cold. So,
Right.
um, but you know what? It just means I'm getting more antibodies too. So, oh well.
There we go. See, I think we're on the same page. 'Cause, yeah, I try to make it a point if I'm able to. It's a little different now, but if I'm able to get out and run when I'm sick, I feel like it speeds up the recovery time for
Mm,
me, and I feel like it just gets out a lot of that
yeah,
sickness. That's how I feel personally. It's always been helpful for me, and I do feel like I notice a difference between when I'm able to do that and when I'm not, and how long the sickness lasts. So
yeah,
yeah, we're in the same boat.
yeah. And
No,
yeah. I'm in like like you said, my line of work, and like your sister, your wife's line of work, like we're in front of teenagers. It's time for me to get their germs again because that was what 2.5 years of no germs. And so I'd rather keep it regulated so I don't get sick as often. Because
sure,
well, and I feel like I was already sick or with allergies like a few weeks ago, and then it went away and I feel like it's back. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'm getting hit kind of hard, with having
sure.
cold or whatever. So let me get these antibodies back in my system and then I'll be good to go for a while.
Yeah.
But this is my 9th year teaching. And before this, like I would only get sick like once a year. Like
Only
usually
only 9 years.
only 9 years. Yeah.
I don't
Wait,
know. I thought you taught for longer.
you're saying I'm older than I look, Josh. That's so rude. Just kidding.
I'm in a tough spot here. It's like one of those like it's like a choose your own adventure book. Like I could just go for it.
It's like the comment where you said, where you and Jordan said, huh, when you guys saw me in person for the first time in a long time, they're like, we thought you were taller.
Yep.
I'm like, what?
Oh, that
Usually
one, that's
pictures like
different.
taller.
Yeah, that one's different because and we gotta be careful when we start talking about this height stuff. This is what got us in some trouble on YouTube before because you mentioned short kings and
Yeah.
guys who are short and all that stuff, and
Okay.
the weird comments started coming.
Keep them coming.
One
That's
guy
fine.
didn't make any sense. I'm not even going to repeat what he said because it was so bizarre. But
Did I see that one?
you did. I sent it to you.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I sent it to you. It wasn't bad, but it was just like, huh, that doesn't make any sense what you just said. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure what's going on here. But yes, no, and yes, I stand by the fact that when I see you in person now, it's like, oh, you're much shorter than I thought. Not that you're short, but no, I'm not going to comment on your age, even though you are.
I'll just
You know,
take
it's
it out.
actually, hold on, wait a minute, hold on, because this is going to air the day before your birthday, I think.
It is next week. Are you dropping it next week?
It, that's how we do this, Deb.
You like how I asked you?
Yeah, like you seem shocked. Like, do we drop this next week? Yeah, we do it 1 week ahead, and then okay, yes, this will drop next week before your birthday. So happy birthday!
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Gracias.
That being said, you are just a little bit older than me. I do like to point that out every once in a while.
It's
And
okay. I'm a little wiser. It's fine.
oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting take.
That's how I view it. You thought
That's
I
probably true. It's
I
probably
mean,
true. I can't deny that. I mean, everybody knows you're smarter than me. I see that's the problem. I have to make fun of you as much as I can because deep down I know she's just a better person than me and smarter, better shape, all these different things. So I have to, take my shots when I can. Oh no, it's your birthday, but calm down. Technically it's still a week from your birthday. Let's not get crazy.
my birthday month. Don't you know how it works?
Do you really celebrate for a month?
No, I mean,
Do
I
you even do you
celebrate
celebrate at all?
like my birthday.
Yes.
Me and my girl, like me and my friends. Well, we actually my my indoor soccer team and I. There's 4 of us who have November birthdays. 2 of us we have. I share it on the same day with one of the girls, and the other
Oh,
2 are within like a week of ours. So
nice.
started this last year. I feel like if it's going to be a tradition, if we continue to stay friends, which I'm sure we will.
That was a dark thought.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
No, sometimes people fall off and move away and drop out. I don't know. People leave, Josh. Okay.
Yeah, that's usually a question that's something you talk about after it happens, not before it happens. Like, yeah, if we stay friends, great. If not, I
This
guess
is nothing I would not say in front of them. So if we stay
I'm
friends,
sure.
we'll do it every year. But last year we did when we're doing it again this year, we just called it the November birthdays. So we pick one night in November and we just kind of go out to Midtown and we hang out, we go to dinner, we have fun, and we stay the night at a hotel down there because all of them are moms and they want to be able to just go.
It's a little break.
Yeah, and not come home late. So that's that's all I'm really doing.
And then they get to watch you instead. They can leave their kids at home and then they have the
No, it's me watching them. Are you joking? They're the
oh, is that
ones
how it goes?
me making sure they're good, everyone's safe. There were 15 of us that went out last year.
Oh,
And
nice.
no one got arrested, no one got lost, no one got in trouble. We all were it was a miracle that we all made it back in the same hotel
That's good.
same time.
Well done.
That's what I'm doing. Otherwise I'm just celebrating life every single day of the year. So 365
Wait, you see that on Instagram somewhere?
with my Trulies.
I
What?
celebrate life every single day. Oh my gosh. I wish you wouldn't have said that. That sounded ridiculous.
I'm gonna put that on my profile now.
Yeah, please do. That's where it belongs, and it should never.
I'm sure some people will agree, comment and agree. I'm sure.
Oh no, I'm sure. I'm sure they agree. That's a great mentality to have. I just feel like you saying it out loud. I feel like that was either like a mentality you just have up here, or it's something that you put on Instagram and you just never speak of it again. But I feel like the fact that it came out of your mouth, I don't know about that.
I need to
Don't.
stop laughing or else I'm gonna cough.
Yeah, a more professional podcast would dump that part of the audio, but not here. Anybody
Professional.
who's listening gets all the coughs, all the sneezes, everything.
Get all the noises.
Yeah, I went to a was it last weekend? Last week I went to a concert.
Oh yeah, I
And
saw that. You're becoming like me. Nice.
I wish you wouldn't have said that too. A couple of things you could have kept to yourself. That's all right.
I saw that and I was like, Josh is going out there. He's going to concerts. This is so great.
Yeah, probably one in like one every year, maybe. But no, it was cool. It was Odessa. Went with Jordan, my brother,
Nice.
and it was at originally it was supposed to be at not Arco Arena. Jeez, Cal Expo. It was
Oh,
supposed to be at Cal Expo. Could not be at Arco Arena. It's gone. But Cal Expo. Uh, it was I forgot when it was. Was it early September? I can't remember, but we got there and there was all these signs saying it was canceled. Like, oh no, that's a
oh
bummer.
no.
So eventually they rescheduled and for last week, and it was
Nice.
at the Toyota Amphitheater in Wheatland. It's my first time being there.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
cool. Not as far as I thought it was going to be. The drive was pretty quick, but yeah, it was a cool concert. Um,
Nice.
Definitely saw it. Like we've talked before, the people watching is interesting, and
Yep.
one of the things that just was fascinating. Like obviously, it was a great show. Just you know, the audio visual stuff, everything they did was really dope. But I'd be lying if I said that the situation in front of me in the row in front of me was not capturing my fascination as well, because there was a guy and a girl and they were together, um, and then this other guy was with them, and I couldn't tell what was going on because I thought they were just like, this couple with a friend that was with them. And as the night progressed, and I think as the drinks started flowing a little bit more, the PDA, the handsiness of the girlfriend and the other guy like kept
Just talk about
increasing. Yeah, we
it.
did.
Okay, go.
And it kept increasing. And then it's like I was looking at this, I'm like, huh, I don't know what the relationship is here, because it was like a lot of hands, a lot of arm over the shoulders, a lot of hugging, and the other guy was just standing there, not doing anything. And then at one point, like she kind of like eventually went back towards him, and he had like his arms around her, kind of like, don't forget, this is my woman. Like, all right, what is going on here? And so Jordan brought up a good point. Maybe it was a brother and sister situation, and they were just really close.
No.
That's okay. That's the now Dev,
No.
Dev, I just want to say this too. After he mentioned that, I'm like, maybe, but like, let's be honest, it's a better story if we say that wasn't the case. So we both kind of ended up saying, no, I don't think so. So I don't know. It was bizarre. And hey, maybe there's some people out there that are so tight with their friends that they would feel comfortable. But like, there was a very if you're like scoring this like with boxing or MMA, and you're saying like how much each person had physical touch, this other dude, it was a 10-8 round. Like he got a lot of the touching, and it was very strange. I'm like, lights, all the special effects, all this stuff is pretty dope. Flames were in the air. It was really cool. But I could not stop focusing on this couple in front of us because it was fascinating me.
You
Like,
should get your phone out and video it and send it to me.
I'm telling you now, I'm painting a perfect picture. I don't need a phone.
So how did they leave? What else did you, how did they leave?
They actually left early, which was a little weird because the one guy had an Odessa t-shirt that he just bought. And I feel like if you're a diehard fan, you're not leaving the show early. You know what I
Huh.
mean? At least for me. But he left early. They all left early. But I will say this: like they were, the woman and this guy were jumping around, hugging, arms over each other, going crazy. And then once the boyfriend, like, in the like, middle of one of the songs, he had his arm around her, and it was very much like holding on to her. The energy for the dude over here, gone. It just sucked the life out of him. It's like he had a great time until that point, and then all of a sudden, nothing. He had no more life, no more juice. What do you think,
Just
Deb?
oh, I don't know. So many things are running through my head right now.
Am I wrong though? It is weird though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it, yeah. I mean, but everyone has their different, preferences, and maybe some people don't care. Maybe that was two guy friends, and like maybe that was a boyfriend girlfriend, and then a friend of both of them, or a good friend of the guy friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, but I don't know. It would seem like
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
maybe one was gay. Like I don't know. Who knows?
I tossed that out there as well. Um, but
Mm.
I don't know. It didn't seem like that either. I don't know. I'm gonna be, I don't know. It was very strange.
Someone else needs to help us and figure out what I possibly could have been. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with the friend thing. I'm gonna go with that's a boyfriend girlfriend, and the other dude was a friend of, I guess I'll just say both of them. Um, Maybe more so the guy, because that's kind of, I don't know. To me, that's kind of ballsy for a girlfriend and boyfriend to go out, and
Yeah.
a close guy friend of the girl to go with them. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's just a friend of both of them, or a close friend of the guy. And she
Maybe.
was just trying to be cool with him too. And like, oh
Oh,
yeah,
she
this is
was she was
exciting.
very cool with him. Let's not mistake that. She was very cool.
So when she was jumping around with this guy, the boyfriend's just like standing there, not
Yeah.
doing.
He would like wave his hands every once in a while, but like he was pretty still the whole time. But he wasn't looking over there very often.
Did the two ever kiss, the boyfriend girlfriend? Were they like kissy kissy on each other, or just like hold
I think
like,
they did at one point, but not like kissy kissy. It was like kiss. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I feel pretty confident in saying that it was. I I don't know what the relationship was. I don't know whose friend it was. Clearly a friend. I think that what made it weird was the amount of we'll just call it PDA for the sake of this conversation. The amount of PDA that was given to the one side, but not the other. I think if they were all jumping, arms
yeah.
around each other, maybe like him just a couple times, like it wouldn't seem weird. The odd part was it was so clear. Now maybe they were just, I don't know, maybe they were just huge fans, and the boyfriend was just kind of a fan,
Oh,
and so there was more excitement there. I don't know.
interesting.
And a
Well,
couple times, like they're like this girl and this her boyfriend would go off and get drinks and then come back and leave the other guy. But more often, the girl and this other guy would go off and get drinks and then come back.
I feel
And the
like
first, let me say this too. The first time, the first time we saw this happen, me and Jordan just looked at each other like, we kind of did like a shoulder shrug. Like, we see what's going on here, right? Like we understand.
oh, I feel like it is. I feel like it's just a classic third wheel situation.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe. But I feel like that it's like one of those it's like one of those, I forget what they're called. Those, have you seen those like motorcycle things where the third wheel is actually in the front? That's what this seemed like. This guy just took charge.
Well, and like, because I'm like thinking of my, if I've done something similar, not the touchy touchy with both of them, but like just the like,
Just the guy.
right. So like
Yeah.
I've gone off with, like, if I'm going to a concert with a guy or whatever, and there's people around, I've gone off with his friend to get a drink and come back, or get food
Sure.
for come back, or even, got excited and like whatever, but not a, like how you and Jordan saw like an obvious like they were all over each other, those two, the girl and the girl. Yeah, like
It was
that.
a lot. And as I told you before when we talked about the PDA thing, that stuff doesn't bother me. So this is not at all like, oh, I can't
Right.
believe it.
So you're trying to figure out what's happening. You're like, wait a minute.
To say this, like they were touching each other so much that it caught my attention.
Hmm.
PDA does not bother me at all. Like I said before, I've seen some wild stuff. Doesn't bother me. But this was like, oh, this is weird. Something's going on here. Like you said, there's a lot of different options, but in my mind, I'm like, it's more fun to think that this guy was just letting this happen.
Oh my God. So I'm like so invested in this, but we'll never know what happened. So I guess we'll
We'll
just
never know. Unless you guys listen. If you listen to the podcast, let us know what was going on. And I apologize for making
oh,
fun of you.
tell it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a
No, we're
good concert, right?
not making fun. We're just trying to figure out what's happening because I
Sure.
want to know.
Yeah, Deb's not making fun of you.
I'm not. I just want to know.
I
I don't.
was. Yeah.
Josh was.
Yeah,
I
very
apologize.
much so. Um,
That's
yeah, no,
interesting.
there was a lot more to this that doesn't need to be shared here. This would be,
Yeah,
but yeah, no, it was an interesting situation. Like I said, the concert was great. This situation was just fascinating to me.
it is fascinating. I wish I were there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna keep.
yeah, we could have had you weigh in,
I know.
do a
Probably,
podcast from the
I probably
concert.
would have. No, I probably would have asked them. I would have followed them out and been like, "Hey, so what's happening here?"
Right. Oh, okay. Hold on. There's another part of the story that I forgot. Okay, so all this is happening, and like I said, the boyfriend doesn't seem to be bothered by this at all. I'm like, all right, maybe he's just cool. Like you said, maybe there's really close friends. Maybe they've all been friends forever. It's all good. Have you ever seen that movie Keeping the Faith?
No.
Okay, it's with Ben Stiller and Ed Norton and Jenna Elfman, and Ben Stiller. They're good like childhood friends in New York, and then they grow up, and Ben Stiller becomes a rabbi. Edward Norton becomes a priest, and then she comes back into town, and then they kind of both have feelings for her. And it's like obviously you have some like the religious issues there and a bunch of different stuff. It's kind of what it feels like. It's kind of what it felt like. It's like, oh, we've been childhood friends, and it turns out this girl's super hot, and we both have feelings for her. But
No, that
um,
that's a very good guess
it
right
could
there.
be. I don't
That could
know. That was the first thing that came to my mind. I enjoyed that movie when it came out. But
dang it.
anyways,
Sounds like that was more exciting than the concert, just watching all that happen.
and the concert was really good, but this just took the cake. But so, anyways, so during the concert, he's standing there, and then this woman in front, um, like looked back at him. I don't know what the conversation was. I couldn't tell, couldn't hear. But she started talking to the boyfriend, like got into his ear and started like kind of chatting with him for probably about 30 seconds. It was a decent amount of time. And uh, and Jordan can correct me if I'm wrong, but the way the girlfriend looked at this other dude was kind of like, "Who's this hoe talking to my boyfriend?"
Really?
Yeah, I'm
What?
like, "Oh shoot, hey, pay attention. There's something's about to go down." And then she kind of watched her like how does this work here? Because what I've been watching all night is seems like it would make the other guy jealous. I don't know, but maybe not. And then they talked and it was all good. He's like, oh, it was whatever.
You guys were very much invested in what was happening in front of you. I love it so much. Thanks for
Yeah, I
all the
know. We've spent. I was not expecting to talk as much about it, but it was. And then when Jordan and I drove home, it took up about half the car ride's conversation.
and you're like, so what do you what's happening there?
Well, part of I'll be honest, half of our conversation about it was like that. What do you think was going on there? The other half, like I said, I cannot share on the air because there was all these possibilities of what we thought it could be, and
Oh,
it went off the rails very quickly.
sure it did.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Made us laugh, but it was not appropriate. So we'll keep it moving.
Do the X-rated one later. You guys can have your own
It was
segment.
like the XX rated version. Yeah, not great. We would lose some followers.
Gain a bunch of followers.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Early on in this podcast thing, we know for character comment, we gained one follower, and they started following us. I don't know if they still follow us, but it had to do with like sex toys. They're like, huh, I'm not sure you understand our podcast, but I don't know if we're the group that you're gonna want to follow. But hey, enjoy the content. We're talking to Coach Horner this week. Enjoy.
That's why they
Yeah, Joe Davidson, and if you're enjoying that content, sure, probably not going to be the right group for you though.
right.
Yeah,
Shock.
yeah,
Well, that's a good story.
yeah. So,
Nice.
all right. Well, we've wasted a ton of time on that. So we have a top
As
five.
per usual.
What's that?
As per usual.
As per usual. So today we thought about it would be fun because we've obviously we haven't done a top five for a minute. The last time I did a top five was with Jordan, and we did arcade games. And I was looking back. You and I haven't done a top five for a really, really long time. And so we thought, hey, it'd be a fun time to do it, and especially because we have been known on this podcast we've made it very clear that we love summer, not huge fans of the cold weather, which is awesome that
Yeah.
you're wearing your endless summer sweatshirt right now. That's appropriate
Still,
for what we're doing right now.
yeah. We
Um,
want to forever.
what's that?
want it to be summer forever.
I wish it could be. That'd be fantastic. But here we are. It's fall. Even over the weekend, it felt like winter. It was so cold.
Right now, yeah.
It was so cold. So we thought it'd be fun to show a little love to the fall things or the cold weather things that we enjoy or the things that we enjoy about this season as much as we love summer. There are certain things about this time of the year that I do really enjoy. So
Yeah. Sweet.
we'll knock these things out real quick and then let you guys move on with your day
Yeah.
to a better podcast that you probably are looking forward to.
What are you talking about? This is their favorite. That's why they're listening. It's fine.
Maybe I would love to know if it was someone's favorite podcast. That'd be awesome. But anyways, Deborah, would you like to start?
Christine has said this is one of her favorite podcasts, FYI. So anyway,
which is smart for Christine because I probably wouldn't have picked up on that, and it would make me just feel good. Like completely missed. Oh, you said it was one of your. I thought it was your favorite. You said it was one of your favorites. So
I'll take it.
And Christine had a very nice message for us on our 100th episode too.
I know she did. We had a lot of see. I can't drink any more Trulies. I was trying to say we had a lot of nice messages on our 100th episode. Yes, we did.
A lot of fun ones, a lot of creative ones, a lot of silly ones. So we appreciate them all.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, go ahead, Deb.
Something I like about the fall weather, moving into the colder weather, is just like when I'm wearing like warmer clothes. Like I can't, like I have half of my closet is sweatshirts, sweaters, just big baggy, like whatever, like just being able to bundle up and wear warmer clothes. An excuse to wear warmer clothes. You can only wear, and I love summer, but there are some times where I'm like, you can only like skimp down so much. And after a while, I don't know about guys, but like, I feel like, I guess I'll speak for myself, I guess, not even for everybody. I was going to say women, but I'll just speak for myself. It gets tiring. Just my option is just shorts and a tank top. And sometimes I'm like, ugh. Like I'm bloated today. I ate way too many hot dogs. Like I'm just done. Like I don't want to wear this tank top. I just don't want to throw out.
No, I'm sorry. Hold on.
I threw out.
Wait, Joey Chestnut? What do you mean? Ate too many hot dogs? What are you doing?
I don't know. I just said a food. Just whatever. Too many pieces of pizza. Whatever.
Wait, so that's not even true? Did you have a hot dog today?
No. I had hot dog. That was the first thing that came to my mind.
What did you?
I had a hot dog in Midtown this weekend off one of those carts that they make hot dogs of when you're leaving the clubs at like 2 a.m. They have them like right outside.
I'm familiar. Baseball games, yeah. I've been tempted to. Is it the one wrapped in bacon?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, but why did?
That's what I was thinking. I don't know. I just picked a food. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just blown away by the fact that you just did that, because you could have just like said the real thing, because you said like everything up until that point made it seem like it was like true to what you had done today, and then you just like, I had like 50 donuts today.
I ate boring food today though. I ate healthy today. So.
What'd you eat?
I had like a here comes the coughing. I had like a lettuce like wrap that I made for lunch today. I don't really eat breakfast, but for a snack I had like a thin bagel with some hummus. And then for dinner I had like this frozen like protein thing that I stick in the microwave, and it's got like lentils and rice and peas in it, and then some broccoli. Like I ate so boring today, so I couldn't think of anything today, so I just thought of hot dog. So that's all I got for you is hot dog. So anyway, so I don't like where.
All right, so continue on.
The shorts and the tank top and eating whatever, how much food, whatever, and all the alcohol. Sometimes I'm like, it's too hot, but I need to put like, I don't want to like, I can't suck it in all the time. I can't like squeeze my tummy and flex all the time. So it's annoying. So yeah, I like the baggier clothes. I'm here for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. That's good.
I don't know why I said hot dog. I just said it. So.
Well, I'm sorry. I could have let it go, but I couldn't let that go. You know what I mean?
Else.
Because you said it so confident that it's like, like you just went to town on those hot dogs. Like you had 10.
I could have said, I know, I could have said I drink too much beer. Like that's something like more like exactly like.
Because we just talked about that. but like, all right. Now it makes me question everything you've said on this podcast. Like, now I don't know what's true.
I don't either. It's fine.
All right, well, good. We're in the same boat. um, how many
Uh,
hot dogs do you think you could eat?
I don't know. Just I'm not a huge hot dog fan.
Oh my gosh.
I'll eat a couple, but like that's not. I should have said donuts. I could eat an endless amount of donuts.
You could have said anything else that was
I
true.
don't know. I don't know why I said that, but now
Well, I'm gonna clip this one.
tangent about this.
Yeah. Well. All right.
Your turn.
I'm moving on. We don't have time to do this. It's amazing we podcasted for so long together. All right. I enjoy like when it becomes this time of season. I also want to say too, as far as the clothes thing, I can't relate to the exact same things, but like we talked about this, I think on the Halloween episode. For me, I feel like when it comes to like dressing nicer,
Yeah.
my options are limited during the summer. In fact, usually during the summer, it's shorts and a tank top, and that's kind of how I dress all the time. Nothing fancy, nothing impressive. I look like a beach bum all the time. But during the winter, I feel like I have like just more options, and like they just make you feel better. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm dressed a little bit nicer, like at work and different things, and so my options there are better. And I think I heard someone say that before, like during the winter, like because of the clothes options that you have, you just you feel more put together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not dressing fancy, but
No, but
better.
just well, yeah, it's okay. But we both had close things then
Boom.
on
So that
that list.
wasn't it, but I just wanted to tag along. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm on board there with you. Minus the hot dog thing. So I do like cooking, like we've talked about on this podcast before, and I feel like once the cool weather comes in, the cold weather comes in, then it like opens up all these different recipes I have for soups and chilies and stews, and it's awesome. In fact, we had green chili stew tonight. It's probably, I feel very confident saying this. It's probably the thing that I'm best at making.
Great. What's it called?
Green chili stew.
So how do you make it? Or how do you what's in it?
So it's pork. It's like chunks of pork, and then you have I use two different kinds of green chilies, and I'll just give you the Cliff Notes version. You blend it up, some beef broth, some different flour, some different seasonings, and you put it all you put it in there, and it's so good. It's delicious. Something that's pretty popular like New Mexico, and um, yeah, this is just my probably my favorite thing to make because it turns out good and it is delicious. A little spicy, which I enjoy, but yeah, I actually made some tonight, and it's awesome. And it's one of those things too where I feel like for some reason with like the soups and chilies and stuff like that, specifically this one, because you have to roast the peppers in the onion or in the oven. You have onions in it. You're putting it in like the Dutch oven pot. It fills up like the whole house,
Oh.
and it just smells like very like inviting and delicious. It's very good. Sometimes I'll just walk out into the garage just to come back inside. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is nice. Oh, that's right, I made it. It's delicious. So no, it's probably my favorite. And you serve it with tortillas. It's really good. So um yeah, that's my favorite thing. But like just in general, like chicken tortilla soup, we have a recipe for that. That's really good. Uh, I have a couple different chili recipes that are really good, like some that are more healthy. One that my youngest brother loves, which is a tri-tip chili, which is fire. It's so good. And I just love these. I love these recipes because they're fun to make. They're super easy.
Yeah.
And like I said, some of them are crock pot stuff. So you just put it in there and you come home and it's the best thing ever. It's
And
awesome.
and how long are they for leftovers? Like I bet they're so good the next day.
They're really good. In fact, I always say I feel like those types of things are better, even better the next day
Right?
because like the everything has a chance to meld together and it gets a little bit thicker. And I just feel like all the like the spices and everything just really comes together that next day. So yeah, it was delicious tonight. It's gonna be even better tomorrow. I know that for a fact. It's awesome.
How
And I'm not the
long?
best cook in the world. I'm just saying this stuff is delicious. And
You're very
soups are
confident.
just fun during this time of the year.
Yeah, because it's cold. It sounds good. Like you don't want to eat a bunch of soup in the summer when it's scalding
No,
hot outside and the soup is hot. Like when it's cold outside, you want something warm. So that's like,
exactly.
yeah. How long do they last as leftovers usually?
So I didn't make as much this time, uh, just because of this week's schedule, but it will probably last us tomorrow night. But sometimes if I'm feeling really ambitious, I will double or triple the recipe, and then we have it for quite a while.
Nice. And you're
Yeah,
on
but I did
lockdown.
that when I did that. I think I did that when uh, Rachel was pregnant or getting ready to go into labor with our first child. I made a bunch of stuff. Like I did our own like meal prep type stuff so that we were ready. And that was one of the things I made. And I made a decent amount because you can freeze it and then
Yeah.
it's super easy to thaw and, you know, eat later. So yeah, anyways, I can still smell it right now in the house. It's awesome. So
No.
soups, chilies, green chili stew, love all those things. And I enjoy those things in the winter. So that's one thing I really enjoy cooking during this time.
Sweet. Well, love it. Well,
Yeah.
I do not enjoy cooking, as we all know, but I love it.
Oh, I know. I'm still thinking. Don't think that you're off the hook with this cooking thing. I'm thinking of different recipes that we're gonna try to figure out.
Okay. You're gonna show
Yeah.
me how to do them.
Yes.
Okay, can I just watch you
No, that's not part of the deal.
and play with your kids?
I already established this. We're not sure if we want you to play with the kids yet. And despite what you think they think of you, we're not sure.
The
So
oldest one, I pretend she likes me. I know she doesn't, but there's still hope for the younger one. That one's still like, I'm gonna get that one to like me. So anyhow,
maybe.
I'll play with your kids. You can cook. That sounds great.
Nope.
And then
Not. That's
like,
not how it's gonna go down. But that's fine. You can think that. Rachel's probably thinking she's like, I've heard Deb talk about cooking enough. Like, don't let her anywhere near the kitchen. It's like, yeah, it's for the podcast though.
it's for the podcast. Here come the coughs.
She's
Okay,
gonna she's
well,
gonna take the kids. She's like, you know what, kids, let's go get McDonald's. We don't want to eat here today.
do you guys have a fire? You guys have a fireplace, yeah, in your
We
house?
do.
Okay, that was gonna be my next one. So that's my segue. Is that okay? Is the whole smell like that's my next one? Is the smell of like fire pits or fire whatever bonfires? I love that. That is the
Hmm.
best. Like, I'll walk outside and be like, someone's having a fire somewhere. It smells so good.
That's on mine too.
Okay, yeah, the fire smell.
Yep.
Yes. Um, I used to in some of my apartments. It's funny. I mean, I don't think this complex has any, but in some of my other apartments that I have lived in, I've had fireplaces.
Hmm.
Like actual, like I could make fire. I did not, because we don't want to burn the apartment down. Because I can't like anything with heat or fire. I'm just not, the stove, fireplaces, just I shouldn't touch them. So, but that means the apartments around me would make fires,
Yeah.
and it just like would smell so good when I'd go out on my balcony. And so anyway, the fireplace smells. That's one of mine.
Yeah. I'm with you. And I would take it one step further. It's not just for me. It's not even so much the smell. Like it is cool. Like if you've, especially in the winter, like on those winter days, and if you've ever gone jogging
Mhm.
during those times, and it's like really dark and gloomy, where it's basically like it feels like night all day. It is fun when you're jogging and you can see like the chimneys as you
Yeah.
run past, and you can just tell that they have a fire going. It's like, oh, I should be in there because that looks fantastic. But this
Nice.
dum dum decided it would be fun to go run. Ugh. But no, but just enjoy. I enjoy being near the fire during
Yeah.
these times, and it is fun too. Like I don't have we don't have a fire pit or anything like that, but like fire pits are always fun, especially when it is super cold outside.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes into my next thing too. So I'm just going to kind of segue into it. Hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink any warm drinks like warm apple cider. I don't really enjoy it. I like cold apple cider, not warm apple cider. Um, I just don't really enjoy warm drinks, with the exception of hot
Gotcha.
chocolate. It's one of my favorite things, and it's something I don't really get during the summer. I could, but I choose not to because again, it's like what you were saying with the soup thing. It
Mhm.
doesn't taste as good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The mornings here aren't very cold. It's
Yeah.
not cold at night. Like there's no point during the summer, but during the winter, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love hot chocolate and I
Yeah.
drink it decent amount.
Do you make your own or do you get like the packages or how do you make it? And do you put marshmallows or whipped cream on it?
These are all good questions, Debbie. These are great questions. So I think
I'm not gonna I'm making a face. I'm not gonna say anything because we keep going on tangents. So
I was very look at that. It's you can tell your birthday's tomorrow because you're very mature now. Those podcasts
I
making the
get more
mature.
and more mature every year.
Ooh, maybe I'll catch up to you one day. Probably not, but no. So okay, so I do. Well, sometimes we'll make our own hot chocolate. We'll do like we do have like the packets of like the cocoa, like those like packets you get at like Costco, where it's got like the 4 or 5 different flavors. Those are really good. Also, cocoa bombs are also fun. Have you ever had those?
Oh, I've heard of those.
It's just kind of a silly thing, but like you put the little ball in, and it just kind of falls apart. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is fun. I'm like a
Yeah.
little kid just watching it fall apart. And then so we'll do that. I do have a couple recipes saved. I haven't had a chance to try them yet, but I do have some recipes that are supposed to be for like really creamy hot chocolate. And it's not just like chocolate and milk. There's more to it, a couple more steps. So that's either it's gonna be one of those things where it's either really, really good and like, oh, I'm never gonna go back to doing hot chocolate the same, or it's like I wasted my time. I should have just grabbed the cocoa packet. So I'm excited to try those. But
Okay. Nice. I like a good hot.
usually it's like milk in a packet. Um,
Yeah.
and then I like marshmallows. I do like whipped cream. I'm not going to complain either way, but I do like marshmallows a lot. And during Christmas time, boom, drop a candy cane inside.
Oh, a candy cane. Nice. So does
What's
it
up?
melt? Does it melt? Do you just eat the candy cane after? Like,
No, it melts down
okay, so then you taste like
like
the
peppermint hot chocolate
oh, that
because I
doesn't.
like peppermint hot chocolate at Starbucks. It's delicious.
I used to be addicted to the peppermint mochas at Starbucks, like addicted, like 10 years ago, like a long time ago when I was in my 20s and still young. So a lot of those.
Okay.
I'm, I'm sorry, I'm going on another segue really quick, but
No,
like
please do.
I used to drink those and the pumpkin spice lattes. I got a pumpkin spice the other day at Starbucks and I was very disappointed. I don't know if it was and that was the first one I've gotten all year. I don't know if it was that specific Starbucks or if that's their new recipe now. I don't know. Or maybe my taste buds have changed, but I couldn't even finish it. It was gross. I feel bad for saying that, but
You
yeah.
shouldn't feel bad. Now, have you let down every white female? Probably, but
Yeah.
that's okay. It's
I couldn't, yeah, any basic white chick.
yeah,
Couldn't, I just anyway. So, but yes, the peppermint and the hot chocolate sounds like a good touch. It's
it's
nice.
fantastic. Yeah, it's really tasty, and yeah, and it does melt down by the end of it. It is
Yeah.
funny because if you drink it too fast, then you'll just see the white candy cane with no red stripes because it just like all washes away. But it's like very, very thin. It's like atrophied. It's like an atrophied
Okay,
candy cane. But
I'll have
yeah,
to try it because that sounds fun.
it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know I love hot chocolate. It's fun when it's cold outside. It's delicious.
Nice.
I know I told this story before, but I'll just tell it real quick again. My wife and I went to Tahoe a few years ago, and we were walking through the Heavenly Village. We went to a Starbucks there, and it was just crazy packed. And not only was it crazy packed, but the kid at the register was new. It was literally his first day, and he was training.
Oh my God. Oh
I felt
no.
bad for this dude, and so we
Okay.
ordered. We were waiting, 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 and eventually, it's like I don't know if our drinks coming out because all these people that came in after us have already gone. New people have come
Oh,
in already gone. So finally, we went up and said, "Hey, we wanted to check on this," and you just realized, oh, they didn't put our order in. Which for us, it's like, hey, it's all good. It's not that big of a deal. We're pretty relaxed when it comes to that stuff. Like we'll never make a big deal over things like that.
you won't storm out and say I want my money back, and you guys need
That's
to
like,
do.
how dare you? I'm
I've
gonna burn
literally
this place
seen people.
down.
I've seen people do that and like lose their shit
Oh,
over that. And I'm like, calm,
they're dumb.
relax,
Yeah, they're
relax. These
dumb.
guys are not making. They're making barely money. Like relax. They're
Right.
making
Right.
a treat. So go away.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's like calm
I
down.
can't
No,
I can't stand when people do that. Anyway, that could be another episode, I guess. We could vent
we
about
could do
that. I
that.
don't
Yeah, rude
like
people.
people rude to service workers. Like just don't be rude. Who cares?
Yeah.
They're human, make mistakes. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, it's all good. So we stood there, and the manager came out. She's like, "Oh, let me give you your drinks for free." It's like it's really not necessary. Like we just want the drinks. If you can just make them, that'd be cool. It's like, no, no, no. And then it's like she wanted to give us the drinks for free and she gave us gift cards. And it's like, okay, this is overkill.
God.
Like we didn't make any big deal. Like it's all good. And like we can't be any more friendly right now. And so, the whole thing. So they finally got us the drinks and we're walking out and we were by a fire pit. We sat down by the fire pit and we both took a sip of our hot chocolate. We realized, oh, this is not peppermint hot chocolate. This is
No.
not hot chocolate at all.
What is it?
It's warm milk with peppermint.
Oh no.
It
It's
was just
chocolate.
because at first we're like, oh, maybe they did like a white chocolate, hot chocolate. I don't know. Taste it again. This is warm milk. This is warm milk with peppermint.
Did
Which
you crack in?
no, it was like, yeah, we're gonna call it here. We tried.
You're done.
So we
You're
got the
done.
gift card. Maybe that's we'll just use it another day. But that was tough because it's
Like
like, oh, this was warm. If anybody's wondering, warm peppermint milk is disgusting. It's not good.
peppermint milk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. But it made us laugh. We just laughed and threw it in the trash can. It's like, well, we tried.
Right.
So,
I was gonna say after that, you guys are. I would have been probably annoyed, but definitely not. I wouldn't have like made a scene or gone back in or even said any. Like I would have probably just done that, but I would have been like, ugh, I waited this whole time. I just wanted a hot chocolate, but no
I
scene.
mean, I think it
People,
was so ridiculous at that point. We're just like, we just laughed. It's like,
right? Yeah,
what can
yeah,
you do?
right.
What can you do? Now, I'll say this: if the worker was rude about the whole thing, then I'd probably feel differently. But like I said, it was a kid trying to learn on the
Yeah.
first day, and it was in December at Heavenly Village, which is full of skiers and snowboarders.
Yep.
It'd be a horrible place to learn.
Yeah. That's true.
So,
That's true.
anyways,
I would love to make my own peppermint hot chocolate and like do the stick and everything, but just dump a bunch of Baileys in there. That sounds really good.
see, I feel like Bailey's is like the again. I don't know anything about this, but I feel like Bailey's is kind of the holiday drink. Is that true?
Yeah,
Like
for me.
is that
Yeah.
right or no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it
I feel like
is.
it's always in commercials,
Mm,
or I see recipes for it. Like as I'm looking for other recipes,
yeah,
they say the same thing. So I'm sure,
yeah.
yeah, I'm sure it'd be delicious.
I'm gonna do it.
All right, you let me know how it is.
I, not that I haven't done that before, but it's very good, by the way.
Well, then thanks for letting me know how it was.
Okay.
Man, I feel like Deb's gonna die on us. Please don't die on the podcast because I don't want to have to edit that out.
Weird. And it's weird. It's like a silent cough. It's like nothing. It's like it's like there's nothing behind it. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. But anyway, but okay, that's a good segment into my next one. So, about the Baileys and the holidays. So the fall and the cold weather reminds me of holidays, and that's what I like about it too.
Yep.
Um, just I think we talked about this on one of our episodes recently, because first Halloween and then Thanksgiving and then Christmas and then New Year's. So not that like I'm a huge like I don't like go overboard really on any of them, but I just like that it's mostly a reason to get together with people and to just like, just be together and eat and have fun or whatever. But I feel like those festivities are like those are very nostalgic. So I like that about the fall weather and the cold weather too. Just holidays are coming up. I feel like there are no fun, cool holidays after January. I feel like I mean we got Easter or we got Easter, we got 4th of July. Am I missing anything?
I mean, you have
Like,
like Memorial Day.
where, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
Memorial
but
Day,
you're right. I
President's
mean,
Day.
they're more
Like,
President's Day.
I don't know. I'm thinking of the holidays for like my
Yeah.
school stuff, but like,
Well, I
I
think
can't.
that's the thing, though, right? Is a lot of those are just there's a lot of those are days, right? They're not necessarily full seasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Um,
the season of like all of
yeah,
those things, like that's my favorite too.
yeah,
So
because like we've kind of talked about this before. Thanksgiving, starting with Thanksgiving all the way through New Year's, it's
yeah,
kind of one holiday.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Even,
with you on that.
yeah. So anyway, okay. Yes, the holidays. That's one
Yep,
of
I
mine.
love it. You took the words right out of my mouth because that was one of mine, but you nailed it.
Oh, nice.
Um, okay,
Really.
this is gonna be a silly one. A couple of these I might just skip just for the sake of time because we did
Okay.
talk a lot at the very beginning about nonsense.
Yeah, let's
So
do.
so one of mine, this might seem silly. So like when I'm sleeping at night, I like being able to add like an extra blanket. Like something about having that extra blanket just makes me feel good. Because during the summer, it's like I have no blankets because it's so hot. It's like you don't need any blankets. But something about like you almost get to bring out like your like I have a couple blankets. You get to bring those get those bad boys out. It's like, oh, it's time. Come on, hop on the bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and I don't do this anymore, just because of the type of sheets that we have. Um, you don't really need to do this, but I always, when I was younger, I always loved when I got my flannel sheets out. And you put the flannel sheets on, and when you first got into bed with the flannel sheets, that was an awesome feeling because something about flannel sheets for the first time. It's kind of like flannel sheets. Getting into flannel sheets for the first time in the winter season is almost like putting on a fresh pair of brand new socks. Like it's hard to describe the feeling. It's just awesome.
Especially
And
when your feet are cold. Like it feels
exactly,
good.
exactly. You just get to get in there. It's like you might even call like when I was younger, you might even call like bedtime sooner. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I'm supposed to be in bed at like 9:30 tonight. I'm calling it 8:30 because I know my flannel sheets are on my bed right now. And so this night does not need to continue. I need to go to bed just for that very reason.
Yep.
So, that was
Yeah.
really about blankets. But like having the extra blanket and the extra warmth is nice.
Yeah. That's I literally do the same thing. I put an extra blanket as soon as I feel the temperature dropping and it's too cold to open my window. And I crack it a little bit just to get some fresh air in. Just a little bit, but I turn my fans off on the ceiling. My heater just kicked on right now, actually. But when it's that cold, then I throw an extra blanket on top and it's like perfect. Yeah.
It's awesome. So yeah, the extra blanket, that's one of my top five. Like I like the extra blanket.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
I get to bring out my cozy kicks, which this has not come up on this podcast before, but they're my slippers that look like sneakers. And Deb saw these a long time ago when we were recording in person. We were recording one episode at my house, and all of a sudden, like in the middle of a sentence, Deb starts laughing. Like, what is she laughing about? It's
Oh
because
yeah.
she saw my slippers, and she didn't recognize I had these slippers on when we started recording. They are so comfortable. Only time I wear them is during the winter.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're pretty funny. They do.
Thank
They
you.
look big blown up shoes. They're slippers. They're
They were slip.
comfy.
They're
Yeah.
super comfy. Yeah, very nice during the. They get super warm, so I can't wear them all the time. But for little spurts at a time, they're very nice.
But it's nice, like if you have hardwood floors and it's like in the morning and they're cold, your floors are cold or whatever, or your
Right.
kitchen floor. That's nice.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to someone's house that had heated floors?
Um, I feel like I have, but I can't like even think of who it was. Have
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
There's one person I know, a family member that does very well. They have heated
I have
floors.
I have a lot of money to have heated floors.
Yes, they do.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And I've never
So
been there to experience it, but I've just heard stories.
as soon as you said that, I'm like, I know I've stepped on heated floors, but then I'm also like, but was that me imagining it when someone was telling me about it too? I don't know, but if anything, I've heard of heated floors. I can't think of where I was or if I was even there. So who knows?
Okay, this is
But
this is basically the hot dog thing again. So that's all right. Let's just move on before we go down.
trying to come clean. Okay, so something similar to like you're like, oh, early bedtime. So my favorite thing about fall and cold is just like staying in. Like it's too cold to go do anything outside. So stay in and just go to bed earlier and just kind of enjoy the darkness outside and just kind of calm down from summer where it doesn't get dark until like 9:30 at night.
Right.
So nice. It's a nice little break.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
something similar. It's like we almost have the exact same list. A couple tweaks here and there. But yeah, and I think like for me, like watching movie now, it's a little bit different for me. I'll say this: it's a little bit different for me now with kids the age they are. It's not quite as relaxing to do these types of things during the day. But I remember when it was super dark outside, um, gloomy, rainy, all those different things. It is nice just to hang out and watch TV shows, watch movies, and just kind of hang out and do that because there isn't like the guilt that you feel like, oh, I should be outside doing something or working on something, because you really
Yeah.
can't, because it's so nasty outside. And then um like you said, it's just nice. It just feels cozy. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like that as well. I like that as
Yeah.
well.
Similar. We had like the same ones. Look at
Yeah.
that.
We're very
We'll see if
different
it'll
people, but this winter thing brings us together.
last. We agree on the winter things. Um, I like my last one is I like the changing in color of the leaves and just like the change, like the vibe. Like, oh shit, did you have that one too?
I did.
Like, well, like, and
You
it's
stole
like
my
an
list.
energy too. It's like a change, and I put change of color, like that was what it says. That's what it says on my list. But not only that, but just like the energy shift
Yeah.
and like people outside and just there's just a little, it's a nice little change of pace. And I feel like people welcome the different weather, and it's just I feel like people are a little more pleasant because when summer hits and it's like 110 degrees outside for a few days and it's like miserable, and then all of a sudden it cools down, it's like it's so much better.
Yep. I'm with you. I'm with you.
So we copied each other's lists. What do you know?
There we go. Yeah, no, I do enjoy the changing leaves. There are a couple of places near my house, some of the surrounding areas, that I do try to make. It sounds weird, but like, I try to make a point of driving through some of these areas
Oh yes,
during the
good.
time,
Yeah.
just 'cause I think it looks so nice. And there's just like these stretches where there's these big trees on both sides of the road, and so when you drive through it, it's very scenic. The changing of the leaves, the fall, like leaves falling, all that stuff. Like, I do try to make a point of driving to some of those places because I
Nice.
do enjoy it. So now I'll say this to you: you gotta be careful if you're someone who enjoys running. When you're running during the fall, some of those leaves, those patches of leaves, very slippery, and they will get you sometimes. Have you ever slipped on leaves before?
No, but I know what you're talking about. Like I fall,
Ooh,
like I haven't. I'll trip over my own feet, but I won't slip over a pile of leaves. I feel like I try to avoid them. But I know what you're talking about.
so I've never actually fallen,
Oh,
but I've definitely had one of those moments where you feel your foot
yeah,
slide.
yeah.
It's the worst feeling. And so yeah, I get nervous around those, just like the layer of leaves. I'm like, so it feels like a trap. I feel like
That's
someone's like, filming this.
we totally aged ourselves, by the way. That we're that we're like scared to like run over slippery
I
leaves.
use my walking stick to poke there first as I'm
No, because
jogging.
that moment of just you're running, and all of a sudden you kind of like slip, you kind of like freeze.
Yeah,
You're like, am I gonna, did my knee go out? Like, what's happening? And so it's kind of scary.
it's very scary. Do you what's your move when, like, if you're on public running and that kind of thing happens? What's the move? Because I like laugh and smile like, oh, I can't believe that almost happened. Inside, I'm terrified. Like, I almost fell on my face. Do
I
you have any
just
kind of
like,
reaction? Because I definitely try to react a certain way, because just in case someone's watching me.
I'm pretty sure however it happens, I'm sure I freeze for a second. I'm sure I yell out the F word or something and like, and then just keep going on my merry way.
We handle those things a little differently. Yeah.
Yeah. But then like I'll laugh. Like I'll say what I need to say to just kind of be like, oh, and then like, and then I'll laugh either in my head or out loud or whatever.
All right. There we go. We handle things differently. That's okay. So so those are our top five lists. Kind of that one probably crossed over more than anything we've
Yeah.
ever done before. But
Okay. Yeah.
that's good. You and I both don't
Yeah.
really care for the cold weather, but if we had to choose things that we enjoy about it, they're
Fine.
basically the same. So I will say this one thing I did want to add, and this is something I've never done before, and I don't know if you have anything like this. One thing I would like to do at some point, that's a cold weather activity, that I've never done, is snowshoeing.
Snowshoeing. Oh yeah. Isn't that
I
just
want to just like
walking?
walking in the snow, like walking in the snow, because I heard it's pretty tough.
Ooh.
Because I don't know if it's like necessarily, I don't know if it's considered hiking, but like it's not cross country skiing, but it's not necessarily hiking. It's like a cross between the two, because you have those snowshoes, and then I think you just kind of you walk. But I heard it's a monster.
You have to let me know how that goes.
I will.
Not doing it.
No, I didn't. No, well, you weren't invited.
Just while
This
you
is
do
my
that,
list. I was
while
like,
you do that, I'm gonna go to your house and eat your soup, okay?
oh, absolutely not. you
Have fun snowshoeing.
just so you know, the way things are progressing between you and I, we're gonna have like those signs on the side inside of our door that says, "If you see this woman, do not let her in the house. Definitely don't feed her. Throw some
I'll just
hot dogs out there, and she'll be thrilled."
let's go to your mom's house. They'll let me in.
We'll let her know too. Well, she might. No, no, she won't. She will not let you in because of the fantasy football thing last year.
How
Which,
am I
by the
doing
way,
this year, by the way?
huh?
How am I doing this year?
You're doing terrible. Which is
And,
wild to me.
and it goes back to normal.
Which is wild to me that you didn't put any effort in last year and you won the league. This year, your friend
I
has
hired,
helped you out,
yes.
and things have not gone well.
So I should just stick with my strategy there and do absolutely nothing.
Pretty much, pretty much.
Okay.
So yeah, there we go.
There we
That's
go.
that's all we've got for tonight.
I mean, we could keep going, but we probably shouldn't. I'm gonna start coughing up a storm here in a second. I've already had to mute.
Yeah,
Cough.
we don't need to hear that. It's all good. Just finish your drink and then go to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, so like I said, I've last thing I'll say, we have been sick over here. Something I recently discovered is so NyQuil works really well for me. I can take NyQuil, knocks me out, and I usually feel almost 100% better the next day. But I can't always take NyQuil, especially with kids. I don't feel as comfortable doing that. So Dayquil never really did it for me. People are like, I need to take some Dayquil. I'm like, Dayquil can kick rocks because it doesn't do anything. Now, that being said, they have a new Dayquil that came out that has like vapor something. Like that vapor rub stuff. Same company, but it's like, you know, it's something they added to the Dayquil. Oh my gosh. It's like I'm just like sending ice cubes down my throat into my stomach. Like it burns so badly. And I actually feel like it's working. It like really freezes
Really
out my, oh yeah.
burns everything out or what?
Yeah. In fact, do not take this stuff without having something. Because like those medicines, like, hey, don't eat on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
There's been so many times I've taken medicine on an empty stomach. I'm like, I'm fine. This one, do not take on an empty stomach.
Really? It's like burning
it,
your insides. It's like when you
it's like
get
my belly was just like, oh, what are you doing to us? It's like,
like
I'm
a
trying
hidden
to get you
infection.
healthy.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have to try that one because Dayquil doesn't work for me either. NyQuil will only knock me out, but that's the only benefit. I actually wake up feeling so hungover, so tired, can't open my eyes. Like no matter how much little or sleep I get off of NyQuil, like I'm done the next day. Like I've tried to go to work the next day and I'm just like toast. I'm just like, I don't know what to do.
Really
Yes, like my body
interesting.
not like NyQuil. My body,
I,
what's happening? This is not alcohol. What is going on? I don't know. It doesn't. Yeah. So right now I'm taking nighttime Theraflu, and it's just like a powder I put in hot water, and it's like I drink it, and that's been working pretty well. I wake up feeling pretty good actually with the nighttime Theraflu.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't taken NyQuil in a while, but I remember the last like couple of rounds that I did take it, it just kicked my ass the next day. I just like couldn't function almost.
Really?
Yeah, it
It's
was
interesting. It's
yeah.
weird how that stuff just affects people differently. Because I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
Right.
it's as close to a magic medicine
Ish.
for me. Like I can literally take it, and the next day I'm waking up like, oh, I feel great. Bring on the
Yeah.
day. You know what I mean?
I'm
And
waking up
like
zombie.
I could go run, I go to work, all that stuff. I feel good. All right.
Okay.
But yeah, try the Dayquil stuff. I took some last night, which sounds weird taking Dayquil at night, but this stuff, ooh,
Burns.
it's like winter in my chest. It was crazy.
Oh, okay. I bet that would feel good though if you have like a deep cough, like a congestion like in your chest.
I'll tell you this, it feels like it's working.
Okay.
Like
That's
like those Mucinex commercials. We have like
yeah.
the ugly green guys and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
getting punched in the face. That
Yeah.
feels like it's a literal thing happening in my chest with this stuff.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
So
I'll try that one because Dayquil doesn't work for me. But the
yeah.
nighttime Theraflu is working good. So
So there we
okay.
go. Cold medicines. If you're looking for a sponsorship opportunity, we would love to have you on
Yep.
because we're
We
both
give so
sick.
many opportunities for them. We'll do ads for you guys. We
Yep.
do them.
It's amazing. No one's bit yet. So
I'm amazed.
all right,
Okay.
Deb. I know you're not feeling good, but where can they follow us?
guys can follow us on, let's try a different order. Twitter at Connectable Pod, Instagram at Connectable Podcast. Why are you making that face? Am I doing it right?
Well, no, you're doing it right. I'm just not sure why we had to switch up the order.
I don't know why. I talked about hot dogs tonight. I don't know. Give me a break. I don't feel good. So Twitter at Connectable Pod, Instagram at Connectable Podcast, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at Connectable Podcast.
Yep. And TikTok. I haven't posted there for a minute, but it is a lot. It is a lot.
A lot, yeah. I'll try to look for more content. So
Yeah.
make fun of myself for. That was great.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm open to all of that. So if you have any ideas, Deb, send them my way.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. And as always, if you guys can head over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app to subscribe to the show, and then also leave us a 5-star rating and review, that would be awesome. Deborah, you have not done it yet, even though you said you would. So no crumble cookie for you because you did nothing like you said you were going to. So
that morning, I remember waking up being in the morning being like, okay, I have to do the review. And no, it just didn't happen.
I know. I'm very well aware. I looked, wasn't there. So everybody else, pick up Deb's slack. Help us out. Help us out.
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay. All right, you guys.
Night night.
Night night. See you next week.
Bye.
See you. Thanks for watching the show. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you like it, share it, and hit the subscribe button to get a new episode every week. We'll see you next time on the Connectable Podcast.